Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to another video. This one is going to be about how you can create a post-trade assessment journal, a weekly assessment journal, and a pre-trade journal with Notion, and how you can use it to remove the psychological errors from your trading, how to not revenge trade, and how to review your weekly mistakes and avoid them. So in this video, we will be going over all that. First, you have to download the Notion, which is available on their website for the Mac and Windows. So you have to download the Notion. Then you have to create a new page. Inside the new page, here are a few options. I will click on the database. Now inside the database, I will select the empty database. Now the database is created. This is your whole year's Notion journal. Now I will click on the table and edit view, and then go to the layout, and I will select the calendar option. So now after clicking on that, it will create a journal for my whole live trading. So now I have the database created. I will rename it to a trading journal. Now here inside this calendar view, you have to click on the plus button. And now I have an option of creating a template. So I will click on that and I will rename it to the pre-trade talk. Now down here, you can write your pre-trade ideas. Now here I will click on this and I would call it a strict game plan. And here I will show you how I do this. So you have to click the / and then you have to search for the callout. If I type CA, the callout will appear. Now inside the callout, you have to press the / again, and I will search for the number list or the bullet list. So inside the bullet list, now I can write my trade ideas. I will show you that on the trading view, how I'm writing the pre-trade strict game plan and how I'm following that. Now that the pre-trade talk or the pre-trade checklist is created, now I will show you how to create a daily assessment journal. So you can also change the icon of it by clicking the add icon, and I will select the take option. And now my journal is created. If I delete this page and if I click on this plus button, now the pre-trade checklist will be appearing here. I can use it from here. And now we will create the daily assessment. So I have to click on the new template again, and I will call it the daily assessment. And here I have added a few questions. So I will be going over trade examples and we will cover that later. So for now, I have created daily assessment journal, and now we will go over the weekly assessment journal. Now in the weekly assessment journal, you can ask these questions. The one thing different about this is the column view. We have two call out on the each side. So for that, you have to press the / and then search for the column. And I have two columns here, so I can create one call out here by slash, and then next call out right there. And you can arrange it your way. So this is my trading journal. You can screenshot it and then make it for yourself. So now we will go into the trading view, and I will show you how I'm collecting data, how I am moving the market, and I am writing the pre-trade idea, and how I am doing with that ideas, how I'm writing the daily assessments, and how am I collecting the errors. So now we will hop into the trading view. Now here I am on the NQ daily chart. This is the current week price section. So on Friday, we expanded higher into this high, and we changed the feather price delivery. After reaching it, we kind of closed bearishly, so this was that retracement phase. So I didn't have the buys for the Monday, so I let the Monday candle print, and now for the Tuesday we have a daily buys. This candle is closing over the previous candle, and we have a failure swing. The Friday's high and the previous day high is our target. So our bias is bullish for the day. Now we will go into the lower time frame, and I will show you how I am writing the pre-trade idea. So hopping into the 1 hour chart. So here I'm on the 1 hour chart. You can see from the daily open, we kind of went higher, leaving this high, the filler swing, and the Friday's high. And now we have failure swings to the downside, and we don't have an established low of the day. Because our bias is bullish, we need an established low of the day to trade away from. And I'm using the 50% of the previous day's range is my point of interest. If the price is reversing on the 930, then I will seek the 10M continuation entry. So this is my idea. Now I will go into the Notion, and I will click on the plus button, and here the pre-trade talk, and here I can write. Now in the Notion, I have write that the daily bias is bullish because we have failure swing on the highs, and we don't have established low of the day, and I want to see 930 created. And now this is enforcing your mind to only act on the bullish bias because I have wrote it in the journal that my bias is bullish and I only have one-sided idea which is going long, and I will see the 930 or the news to give me that established low of the day, and then I will trade away from it. And now I have my idea in written form, which is compelling my mind to seek only bullish entries or continuation entry. And now we will hop back into the trading view. Is it providing an entry? So now going back into the trading view, since this is the 9 a.m. open and we have the Asian low is a feather swing. So I'm seeing the 10 a.m. to take this low and then get us on side with the distribution higher. So now dropping down to the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, you can see that we have feather swing on the highs, equal highs here, and that high and the previous day high. So now I will see how the 10 a.m. reacts. And the 10 a.m. we have manipulated this low, which is the Asian low, and now for the reversal higher or for creating the established low of the day, I want to see a bullish closure above this candle to confirm that is an order block or change in the state of delivery. And with this candle, I have the change in the state of delivery confirmed, and this is my previous day high target. So now if I'm entering on the next candle and putting my stop loss below this low and targeting that, this will be 1.6 hours. So I need a limit entry. So I will drag my entry a bit lower to give me around 2 hours. So now I'm entering right here for the limit order. And with the next candle we have tagged in, I'm putting my stop loss below that low and I'm targeting that high or the Friday's high. So this is now my trade according to my pre-trade talk, which I had a bullish bias, and now I'm acting on that. And with the next candle, which is at 10:30, my trade idea is invalidated, and now I'm not tilting my buys or chasing the price action lower because I have written it in the Notion journal that my bias was bullish and the bullish thesis were supported by the price action, and I don't have to revenge trade or chase the price action lower. So this was the pre-trade talk. Now how am I journaling it? So here I will go into the plus button again and I will click on the daily assessment. Now inside the daily assessment, did I follow my trading plan? Now here in the daily assessment, did I follow my plan? Exactly, I had a bullish bias and I acted on it, and it was a win for following my plan. What mistake have I made? If I've made some mistakes like entering up a failure swing or chasing price action or something, I would write it right here. Trade management and execution. If I have mismanaged my trade or aiming for 1.5 hour instead of 2 hour or risking too much, I would write about that in the trade management section. Did I let emotions affect my trading decision? No, there were no emotions involved. If you have emotions like fear of missing out, fear of losing money, or hesitating, you can write it right here in this section. And now we will go into the trading view again for another example. Now for the next example, here I am on the ES daily chart, and this is a trade I have executed today, and I will also show you the example how I managed the trade, how I wrote the daily assessment and everything. So here we are on the ES daily chart. All the week we are expanding higher. What was my target? If we go back into the NQ, on this day we have this high, which is the all-time high, is a drawn liquidity, and the previous day high when we were opening up the day, we created the short wick lower, then a reversal, and we were targeting this high. The NQ will also drag the ES with itself, and why I chose the ES over NQ, I will go over that too. So going back into the ES, so I have the bullish bias for the day, and I was targeting the previous day high or strictly 2R. Now I will drop down to the 1-hour chart. So here on the 1-hour chart on the right side, I have the ES. You can see that the NQ was kind of consolidating and it's an open, which is the 930. On the NQ, we have taken the previous day high and we are kind of acting bearishly and acting weaker. On the other hand, if we look at the ES, we have created SMT divergence at this low. The NQ is tagging that, and the ES is creating bullish SMT divergence. So this supports my idea for the bullish expansion higher, and this was that candle 2 closure on the 9M, and the ES was stronger at that time, so I chose the ES. Now I will go into the pre-trade checklist, how I wrote that. Now in the pre-trade checklist, I will write that my bias is bullish. In the meantime, ES is acting stronger, so I will choose ES over NQ. We have a London reversal, so I'm expecting a New York continuation higher. And with the open, which is the 930, the price action is a bit messy, so I need more confirmation. So this was my idea going into the day. So I wrote it in the pre-trade talk and I will act upon it. And this will stop me from chasing the price action lower or tilting my bias and everything, and my emotions will be in control. So now I will go back into the trading view. Now I'm going into the lower time frame charts and finding that entry. Now here on the lower time frame charts, you can see that from the open, we are kind of drifting lower, creating that swing point on the NQ, and on the ES, we are creating SMT divergence. So we don't have an order block to trade. So I would wait for that change in the state of delivery. So now that we have the change in the state of delivery and the ES is a stronger asset because it is creating bullish SMT divergence, not taking the 830 and the 7M low, and the NQ is taking them. So my bias is bullish. And now in order for the NQ to change the state of delivery, it has to close over these consecutive series of down close candle, which will skew my RR. So I chose the ES over the NQ. Now if I drop down to the 3-minute chart, we have the change in state of delivery a bit early, but this candle closure was far above my entry price. I waited for a retest entry, and on the 10 a.m. we have news. So I put my stop loss here and my target was strictly 2R. Now with the news, we created a bearish candle taking us in. Now the price took a lot of time, like it retraced lower and then went to my target. And at this stage, the ES took the 10M low right here, and the NQ created that bullish SMT divergence, which led the NQ to be the stronger asset. But I was already in this trade, forgot about the NQ, and it went to my 2R target. So this was the trade from today. I will also add the execution on the right side of the chart. Now I will go into the post-trade daily assessment. Now here is my daily assessment, which is after taking the trade, I have followed my pre-trade talk. In my pre-trade checklist, did I follow my plan exactly? What mistake have I made? No mistake were involved. When the correlated asset is giving you a clear opportunity, you can also capitalize on that. Like the NQ had a better structure right here. We had a continuation order block. And if I've taken this entry, it would have given me a 2R trade easily. So I didn't capitalize on this entry, so I would write it in the journal that you can also capitalize on the correlated asset. So this was kind of a side note, kind of a mistake that I didn't put that trade on. So this was my daily assessment for today's trade. Now I will go over the third example. Now for the third trade example, I'm on the gold daily chart. I've also executed this trade. I will add this screenshot on the right side. So we have a next day model formation. We have taken the previous day low, and now we are closing kind of a candle to closure. This candle went lower and then went back higher. So this is that V-shaped reversal on the lower time frame. So we were expecting the next day to expand higher because we also have a failure swing this high, the previous day high, this high, and that high right there. So I'm expecting a bullish bias higher, but the goal is kind of consolidating. So from the daily chart, my bias is bullish. Now I will drop down to the 1-hour chart. Now on the 1-hour chart, you can see that we have created a short wick, taking this short-term low, then closing above this down close candle, which is indication of an expansion candle. We expanded higher, left this fair swing, and now we have retraced lower. And this is the London session low, which the silver has taken, and it has created an SMT divergence with the gold. So this was my idea of the swing point or the candle 2 closure. So I was expecting this high, and this high to be taken. So now dropping down to the 5-minute chart, and also I will write the pre-trade talk. So when I went into the charts around 9 a.m., I saw that candle 2 closure. So I will write the pre-trade talk. Now in the pre-trade talk, I have written that we have a bullish bias going into the day, and we have created the small daily wick. But in the early New York, we have some weird retracement. But we have SMT in place, which can hold the price action, and we can reach those fair swing. But I would rate it a 4.5 star because I'm starting my setups. If it is high probability, a clear London reversal or New York reversal, I will go full risk. And if it is like 4.5 star or 4-star setup, then I will risk less. So I have written that in the pre-trade talk. Now my mind is compelling me to take only the bullish entries and risk less on this trade, and my mind will be in place and it will not chase the price action, revenge trade, or tilt. So now going back into that chart, we have the hourly kind of a candle 2 closure. Now going into the 5-minute time frame, Now in the 5-minute time frame, you can see that with this candle closure, we haven't closed above the consecutive series of down close candle, which can confirm the change in the state of delivery. And if I'm entering right here, my stop will be too wide compared to the target. So now I will seek the lower time frame entry. So dropping down to the 3-minute chart. Here you can see that we have the change in the state of delivery early. I cannot use that order block. I would wait for the continuation. And on the 30-minute chart, we have a candle through closure clearly. So waiting for that next order block. Now with the open, we retrace into this tiny fair value gap and we closed above it back, which is creating that continuation order block. If I compare this stop loss, which is around 4.6 R compared to this one, which is around 8.3 R. So this is half the risk of the previous one. So I will now execute this trade. So I entered somewhat around here at the retracement or the start of the new candle. My stop loss goes below this and I was targeting strictly 2R because the goal is kind of acting weird these days and the price consolidated, but it manipulated, which is a continuation signature. After taking these highs, consolidation, manipulation, expansion higher. So now we have a continuation order block. With the next candle, we have taken these lows again. Now I'm still in the trade because I'm expecting this consolidation to be over and then seeking the 10M expansion entries higher because we have a 10M news. Now at this stage, we have created another order block. So now I am trading my stop loss to this order block low because we have like a protected swing, consolidation, manipulation, and now expansion higher. Now at this stage at the 10 a.m. open, when I saw this consolidation and news not expanding, and one thing more, we are above these highs and we are kind of rejecting those. We can go lower to my entry. So at this point, I put my stop loss to break even and de-risk myself. I'm not expecting it to go higher because it is rejecting these highs and now it could go lower to my entry. So I de-risked myself and it eventually stopped me out because after reaching this high, we have reversal, mid reversal and expansion lower. And it went beyond my stop loss, the first one and the trade one. So this was my break even trade. Now how would I write the post trade daily assessment? So now going back into the Notion. So now I can read this. We have a bullish bias. I acted on it, but it went a break even trade. So now I will go into the daily assessment. Now in the daily assessment, I would write, did I follow my plan? Yes, exactly. I followed that. What mistake have I made? Like I didn't make any mistake, but you can take some partial at those highs because the price do not want to go higher. If I go back into the trading, you can see that we had kind of at this stage we had de-risked ourselves to this trading order block, and after reaching these lows, the price was consolidating, and I should have taken some partial at around 1.1 R because the price didn't want to go higher. But I let my trade break even, which was also a good decision. So now I will show you how you can collect errors from your data on the weekly basis and how you can eliminate them. Now here I have the next page. I will click on the plus button. Like for example, on the Saturday, I'm reviewing my trades. So I will go into the weekly assessment journal and here I will write how many trades did I take this week. So these journals and being responsible is compelling your brand to take less trade, follow your rules, follow your checklist. And if you have written like the pre-trade talk, your mind will follow it. So how many trades did I take this week? I have taken 3 trades. What are my most common mistake? I don't had any mistake in these trades. So for example, if I was a beginner trader and if I was from like 1 year ago, so I would try what were my most common mistake. It would be FOMO, fear of missing out, and like chasing the trade, taking some setups. Now in this section, I will write are my mistake emotional or technical. What do you mean by emotional or technical mistake? Emotional mistake can be like when you are not waiting for your entry confirmation, or you are taking dumb setup, or you are taking trade outside of your trading window, or you are chasing the price section, or you are closing it early before reaching the profit. These are emotional mistakes. And the technical mistakes could be like my trades didn't had SMT divergence, like we didn't had the candle 2 closure and things like that. These are technical mistakes. Now what happens to my biggest losing trade? Do I see a pattern? So if your losing trade are due to the fear of missing out or chasing the price section, or thinking that you know the outcome of the next trade and adding more to your losing position, etc., you can write it in this section. And what happened in my best winning trades, I would write patience, because patience is the key to be a successful trader. So this is my like weekly assessment journal. Now, what is the one mistake I will focus on eliminating next week? Like you can write, I would wait for my setup and I will execute when the market makes it available for me. And like you can write your outside trading mistakes. Like for now, my mistake is not going into the trading desk right at 9 a.m. Sometime I'm going into the desk like 9:15, 9:20. I'm kind of lazy nowadays, so I can also write that mistake, and I will eliminate that next week. So this is the weekly assessment, and you can also like review your each trade daily assessment, extract the error from it, and you can paste it in the daily journal, and then you can view it or screenshot it, attach it to a monitor, or make it your wallpaper, and you can view them later. Like if you have taken like 15 trades, then there's something wrong with you. You are over trading. The market isn't providing opportunities, but you are taking them anyway. Like there will be many mistakes you can avoid through it. So this was the video about making the weekly assessment journals, daily assessment journal, and the trading talk to make you responsible or tell your mind to follow these rules and not going on a revenge trade or a tail trade because you had one-sided bias, one-sided narrative. And hopefully this video will help you with your trading. So I hope you have learned something from this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and see you next week in educational video.